everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cruising Israel. I'm your host, Natalie.
And I'm Max.
Max, do you remember a few months ago we filmed at Jerusalem's Arts and Crafts Fair?
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Annual fair?
Yeah, there were so many people and crafts and things going on, so much to see.
Yeah, there were artists from all parts of the world that gathered and showed off their works of art. Anyway, in that exact location, there's a whole artists' colony.
An artist colony?
With active studios, with showcasing all different types of works of art.
And it's open year-round?
It's open year-round. We can head there now, check it out.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Today we're going to explore the picturesque pathways in the artist colony, where we'll find everything from embroidery to paintings and even Judaica art. We'll be able to see the art, meet the artists, and hear their stories. Jerusalem's lively and active artist colony opened its galleries and workshops for creative souls back in 1969. Locals and tourists alike flock to this great place to visit and peruse works created by multiple artists, all centered in one plaza. The artist colony was established by then-mayor Teddy Kollek, who worked hard to develop the city culturally, socially, and economically. Our first stop is at a Judaica studio, where the artist combines traditional methods with advanced modern technologies. Hello! Seems like we caught the artist in action.
Shalom.
Shalom. Sari has been here for over 20 years, following her graduation at Israel's prestigious Bezalel School of Art. So, what are you working on today?
I'm making a small ball from silver that was raised, and now I'm hammering it to have this smooth surface. First I've made the shape with this hammer, and now I'm making the final surface.
Sari's work of art are made primarily of silver and brass. So this is a real traditional way of creating these designs. It's a lot of noise and labor, banging on the metal and silver.
Yes, it's a traditional work of silversmithing, just with hammers and molds, and I really love the work and the feeling of the metal.
Visitors have a chance to stroll around from studio to not only buy works directly from the artist, but to commission unique, one-of-a-kind items as well. So this is how the bowl used to look like before. It's a nice, smooth piece of silver. It's always fun to see the raw materials, the before and after works.
You can see here a finished piece that was plain sheet of silver, raised and hammered.
I love the material. So what are these bowls used for?
They're all bowls to serve the challah around the table on Shabbat. The same as this one, that it's like the two woven challah, or the wheat or the grain, and it's also to serve hamotzi around the table.
Sari's works of art are Jewish ceremonial items, most of which can be found in any Jewish home.
So this is a mezuzah from sterling silver that has the indent of the fingers, as if it was worn out after years of touching. The spice holder is for fresh herbs, like Sephardi custom that used to have fresh herbs in the countries, so they use rosemary or myrtle or whatever for Havdalah, where Ashkenazi Jews used cloves, and dried spices.
So each culture used what was available to them in their own countries?
Exactly.
Wow.
Pass it and smell.
To have a good week. A lot of these pieces are very, very modern, clean, and chic. I absolutely love them, and I could see this being in my home. How do you come up with these cool ideas?
Well, it's hard work. Inspiration, it's hard work.
Where does your inspiration come from?
I always learn and or talk to people, or from everything is inspiration. But really, to get the idea and to work and to have the complete design is a long process.
The artist colony has been home to Israeli artists for over 40 years and is open to anybody passing through. Now let's check out some cool and unique embroidery. embroidery gallery has been around for over 35 years and is all handmade with quality fabrics and vivid colors. Upon entering the gallery, you'll find wall hangings, challah covers, talit and tefillin bags, and much more. Artist Adina specializes in Jewish themes and Israeli motifs.
How does Adina decide which verses from the Bible go into her work?
So she's very well versed in the Bible. She knows many different sentences off by heart, and she's inspired by this particular pasuk.
So it's quotes that motivate her, that inspire her?
Yes.
What could you use this for?
These two are wall hangings, completely decorative. They're poems from modern Hebraicist.
So besides for wall decoration, what else could people use Adina's embroidery for?
So I'll bring you over to a chuppah. It's one of many chuppot that she's embroidered. We've got a purple one over here, but this one is everybody's favorite. Every stitch is hand embroidered, typical of Adina's work. She's left an open space to put the name of the bride and groom.
So I love the colors, I love the stitchings, everything's very even and clean.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes, nothing leaves the studio unless it's perfect.
Max, you out of all people should know how annoying it is and how heavy the traffic is here in central Israel, especially Tel Aviv.
I definitely feel like I'm using the brake pedal way more than the gas.
Yes, especially during rush hour, it gets really tough.
Yeah.
But what if I told you there is a new way to get around Tel Aviv? Well, it won't be ready yet for the next few years, but there's actually a model of the Tel Aviv light rail.
Oh, cool. That's the new underground subway?
Exactly.
Cool. Could we go check that out?
We could check it out. It's only here for a couple of weeks. We could walk in, we could see the train conductor's seat, and learn more about it.
That sounds cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
For such a small country, Israel has a lot of cars on the road. And with more than half the jobs nationwide situated in metropolitan Tel Aviv, hundreds of thousands make the commute into the area every day, causing intense congestion on a daily basis. But there may be hope to revolutionize the traffic.
So this is the latest project currently being worked on in central Israel, the Metro Tel Aviv light train.
Yes.
There are several lines running through Tel Aviv.
Yes.
I believe the red one is
First one that
gonna
we
be
are
ready
being
first?
built is the red line.
Okay.
And we are designing now the purple line and the green line. And we're going to start working on them in the end of next year. We are forecasting that 20,000 people are going to use it each day.
Wow.
So this huge difference going to be on the metropolitan.
So here behind us we have a model of what the train is going to look like in a few years. So what do you say we go inside and check it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
The red line will be 24 kilometers long, running partially below ground, consisting of 24 stations in total. The line will run from Petah Tikva and will end in Bat Yam.
And you can see that in the future the lines will cross. The red line, there is a big station in Karlibach that is communicated from the green and the red, and you can transfer, let's say, from the red to the purple line.
Wow, very nice in here. This would definitely ease the traffic that's going on in Tel Aviv.
Definitely.
Because I live here for quite a few years and I'm glad I don't have a car.
Yes.
Always, you know, it could get a little bit congested at times.
There is a lot of traffic jams in Tel Aviv, and we are hoping that 50,000 people will leave their cars in their home and will use the train.
Congested may be an understatement. More people are using the car as their means of transportation than any other alternative. for curious visitors that happen to pass by the model of the light rail are invited to walk in, explore, and perhaps even visualize the role of the train conductor.
If you look here, there is no steering wheel, only a joystick.
Wow, there are way too many buttons. It's getting confusing.
And if an actual train car isn't enough, VR technology lets you see what it's like to experience a ride on the metro. The train will operate using advanced technology and run on electricity, noiselessly and without causing pollution.
This is the time schedule for our stations. If you can travel, let's say, from Salome, from Jaffa to, let's say, to Arloserov, when you can change to every train, it's take about 6 minutes.
Wow, and how often do the trains come?
About 3.5 minutes, you have a train.
Every 3.5 minutes?
Yes.
Wow, I cannot wait for that. Really excited.
We are from France and we have underground too, but this one is very good and very modern and very clean.
Seems like many people in Tel Aviv really seem to be enjoying the model.
Yeah, we decided to put it in the middle of Tel Aviv, so a lot of people will come and give us good feedback, so we can give it to our engineers and to help them to improve the design of the vehicle.
When do you see the train being open for public use? And I want the real answer because I've been hearing many different answers from many different people.
From day one, we said to the public we're going to open in October 2021, and we are on time. We have 3 kilometers of tunnels. We are working in all of the 10 stations.
So save the date, everybody, for a more quiet, quick, and smooth journey.
Like I said, October 2021, I invite you to drive the train.
Okay, well, looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Israel is full of authentic cultural restaurants from all parts of the world, right, Max? How many
That's
different kind of
true.
restaurants have we been to?
So many. It seems like a countless number of different types of restaurants from all over the world.
Well, I have another one for you.
Okay, tell me about it.
Have you ever heard of Khinkali?
No.
Khinkali is part of the Georgian cuisine.
Georgian cuisine?
Yeah. We've had some Georgian on the show here before, but not too much. So let's go to Restaurant Quinto, right on the Tel Aviv Promenade, and enjoy some good food.
Great, sounds good. Let's do it.
For those of you seeking the unique flavors of Georgia, there's no need to book a flight. Here at Restaurant Quinto on the Tel Aviv Promenade, you'll find all your favorite Georgian dishes under one roof.
The Georgian cuisine is considered one of the main attractions in Georgia that draws food lovers from all across the globe. Far Eastern countries have influenced Georgia's national identity, resulting in one of the most unique and hospitable cultures in the world.
Yum. That's good.
In Georgia, culture is a very old culture. It's a couple thousand years. Georgian Jewish culture is come to 2,600 years, 26 centuries.
Restaurant Quinto is run by a man who is considered to be one of the pillars of the Israeli Georgian community. Not only a restaurant owner, but also a prominent singer, songwriter, and musician. He was awarded a gold star in his name on the famous avenue in the capital. He is to date the only Israeli citizen to receive this star. Morris decided it was time to introduce the unique Georgian flavors and cultures to the Israelis, and to make the Georgian community living here to feel at home.
We have the Georgian live music here, very, very, very happy evenings, and we have the very tasty food. If we know the Georgian food, it's very tasty.
The word Quinto in Georgian refers to a happy man who entertains his friends by singing and dancing all night. And this is exactly the essence of the restaurant: exuberant fun in a happy and vibrant atmosphere.
It reminds me my childhood. I very miss this taste of food. Because of this, I come here many times.
Quinto is the best Georgian restaurant. I recommend everyone to come to here and not to travel to Georgia because Georgia is here.
I've been a few times in Georgia and the food here is much more tasteful than there. Also the Khinkali.
Khinkali is a traditional Georgian dish, a stuffed meat dumpling that releases a flavorful, meaty broth when biting into it.
You must eat this in the hand.
It's a messy way of eating, but that's the most fun.
A typical Georgian feast can last for hours with a huge assortment of dishes and large amounts of wine. Kinto's bar offers all kinds of high-quality spirits from all over the world, and of course the Georgian cha-cha.
It's kosher cha-cha. It's an executive from this restaurant because
Is it strong?
it says we see later after 5 minutes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
On the table, you can see Georgian pickled vegetables and delicious seasoning, alongside eggplant stuffed with a special nut spread and beans served in a traditional clay pot.
You're supposed to eat it with bread. You're not supposed to eat it with a fork. So far, we haven't been eating anything with a fork.
This is the ajika. This is the traditional Georgian sauce. It's very spicy. You have the Georgian sauce also. This Georgian sauce. It's not so spicy. You can try it, but it's very tasty.
Georgians like the spicy flavors.
Yes, it's very strong.
I love Georgian food. After today, I love Georgian food.
Natalie, what do you think of plants? Tell me what you think about plants.
Well, I love plants. I have a whole garden in my apartment of different kind of herbs that I'm trying to grow.
That's true.
Not really a success, but I'm trying.
Well, you know, the local ones are going to be easier to grow than ones from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But there is a place here in Israel where they've been growing and cultivating varieties of plants from all over the world, including even some endangered
Where
species.
is this place? Nice.
The Botanical Gardens in Jerusalem. What do you say we go check it out?
We're already in Jerusalem, so
Let's do it.
a few minutes away. Let's go. Anyone visiting Israel from another part of the world is sure to encounter plant species that they've never seen before. So where do Israelis go when they want to see some exotic species of plants? Jerusalem's Botanical Gardens. So let's head inside and see what it's all about.
The Botanical Gardens features the largest selection of plant life in Israel, boasting 6,000 species, and is known to dazzle visitors with its unique and rare varieties. And it's all located in one serene park.
Here on the tables, you can see the different plants that we're growing. Eventually, the gardeners will take them and plant them in the garden. And
So they start out here? And
they
then
start
go
out
to
here.
90% of the lush greenery and plants, stretching out over these 30 acres, started from seeds cultivated by a guy named Michael Avishai on behalf of the Botanical Garden.
He and some other people from his field of botany, they really wanted a botanical garden. So they start planting trees and they start, thinking what plants they want, how they want to plant everything, how they want to design the garden. Michael Avishai is now 83 years old, and he's still, you can see him still climbing trees, collecting the seeds and going in the water to pollinate this special water plant. So it's pretty awesome.
I bet it's really rewarding for him to walk around here and see what he created, what he brought to life.
Amazing, yeah.
So here we are in the midst of many thousands of species of plants brought from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Now, in order to get a sense of the origins of the plants, the Botanical Gardens is divided into several sections.
Yeah,
correct?
actually the garden is divided into 6 different sections, represent the geographical areas the plants are originated from.
At the Botanical Garden, plants which are native to the Mediterranean area, Asia, America, Europe, and Southern Africa are all cultivated right here in Jerusalem.
How do the species of plants adjust to the climate here in Israel?
So it's kind of funny, some of the plants we know that are originated from areas that have similar climates, and some of the plants will be able to be here at the garden, but not necessarily they will grow to be the biggest or highest. But this area, the Mediterranean area where we're in right now, there are trees and plants that we brought from around the Mediterranean Sea, and they're very comfortable here at the garden in Jerusalem. So to my right, you can see the cedrus tree, and it's originated from the Morocco mountains, from the Atlas Mountains. And it's really interesting to see it. We have like a whole forest of it because we do have its cousin, and it's from Lebanon. It's very important in the Jewish tradition, and it's mentioned in the Bible many times for very important artifacts in the Temple Mount.
Right beside the cedrus tree from Lebanon is a tree bearing small fruit with a familiar flavor. The cousin of the apple tree, this plant makes small berries with an apple-like taste.
Is this the most it grows?
Actually, it's at the end of it right now. Usually it has even more fruits, and it's kind of yummy.
I mean, is this the biggest the fruit grows?
Yeah. So this bridge is actually a canopy walk that allow kids to walk alongside the trees and actually see them from up above, while usually we see them from down below.
So I understand that there's a lot of groups that come here, kids with special needs or kids of all ages.
We do have many groups of kids, kindergarten, first graders, also high schoolers who come in. We do have a lot of special needs groups who come over. We do also have special needs groups who are in the garden doing some work. They're actually using the garden as a therapy.
I think gardening is one of the most therapeutic activities that someone could do.
Absolutely.
It's very relaxing. You're seeing something come to life.
The Botanical Gardens welcomes volunteers from all parts of the world to learn about the wonderful world of plant cultivation and to participate in a program that is helping to turn Jerusalem green.
I am one of the many volunteers in the Botanical Gardens. I've been here for more than 30 years, working in the garden, the different sections. I think that in this garden, the feeling of seeing plants from the whole world is very special.
People of all ages can partake in practical gardening, urban nature, and the environment.
I think it is a place where you can enjoy life outside a very, very busy city.
Other programs here at the Botanical Gardens include reintroducing endangered plant species which once thrived in Israel, as well as nurturing plants from all over the globe.
Actually, in Israel, there is over 400 species that are considered to be endangered. They are on the red list. And at the garden, we have over 200 of those species. One of the most amazing projects we're doing right now is with the ficus. You know the ficus, it's the fig tree. So there are different family members of that big tree, which is Ficus palmata. And it doesn't look that, sexy or that amazing right now because it's going through fall. In nature, we have only one tree that we could find in the Eilat Mountains. Just one. We're working together with the Georgian Botanical Gardens to create more of this amazing tree. And at the garden, we propagated over 100 plants of the ficus from that one tree in the desert that we could find.
So there's 100 of this species throughout the country?
Yes. It was planted here in 2010, 7 years ago, and it will just keep on growing.
Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Cruising Israel. We love having you with us.
And don't forget to catch us next time as we cruise the country and show you the best Israel has to offer.
Bye.